Well, good afternoon, folks. Welcome back to my channel. My name's Lee, your virtual airline pilot, back with you again with another review. Before we start, if you like my reviews and they help you, please like and subscribe. I'm anxious to try and get my subscriber base up. And yeah, hit that notification bell. I release usually 2 videos a week, sometimes more. We're on a world tour at the moment as well, so there are 1 or 2 adventure videos coming out. So yeah, hit that like and subscribe button and ring the bell to be notified of when I release a video. Secondly, FlightSim Expo 24 is being held in Las Vegas on the 21st to the 23rd of June. I will be there, and I won't be exhibiting, I'll be there as a delegate. Flying into Los Angeles International on the Wednesday the 19th and staying the night at the Renaissance Hotel, and then I'll be picking up a rental car and driving up across the desert to Vegas, one of my favourite trips down memory lane. So I'll be in town in Vegas at the Rio Hotel, staying there from Friday right through Sunday, and going driving back to LA on Monday. So if you're around, come and meet me, and we'll talk and get to know each other. Chance to put some actual faces to some of the names I know. So that's the advertising out of the way. Let's get on to the subject of today's video. We are in the United States. We're in California in the San Fernando Valley, and this is Van Nuys Airport in California, Kilo Victor November Yankee. This is a pay with scenery by Orbx version 1.0.2 for the PC version of FlightSim 2020. Download comes in at 559 meg, and it installs at just over 2.2 gigs. Currently available only from the Orbx store. Price €15.99, which equates to roughly $17.21 US, or £13.73 UK, or $26.09 Australian. Okay, those prices, with the exception of the Australian, are all estimates taken from the Australian dollar, and they do not include tax or VAT, which of course you must add. In the UK it's 20%, but it could vary depending on which country you're in when you make your purchase. Just very quickly, I've had quite an extensive look over this. It's a small airport, but it's quite a huge project. There's loads of people, lots of things to discover. So I'm going to concentrate mainly on airside and show you around the airport, so I don't make this video too long. And we also want to see some wonderful night effects, which look really good. Okay, so let's get on to the features that I've discovered so far. So the key features as listed by Orbx: you've got PBR high resolution textures here all over the place. All new unique GSE and static aircraft added, so basically ground service equipment. There are numerous aircraft, as you can see even from this shot. Some of them actually being worked on by engineers, which will be good. There's also the 94th Aero Squadron restaurant. You may have seen a bit of that in the introduction. We've also got the Park VNY, the Los Angeles Fire Department, the Airtel Plaza Hotel, and loads of various rotating air conditioning fans, vents, custom wigwags, beacon lights, etc. I have to say, you're going to go mad about the lighting. It's wonderful. Some of the way the ground lighting looks, particularly the taxiway signage, and we'll look at that closely. It's a lovely modelled airport. It's typical by this developer who's done this, and it's quite amazing to think it's just a one-man band. But and it sits very well within the default terrain. You can see around here you've got the default Los Angeles area, the Bing data. Some of it looks a bit weird, but actually the airport here, if you can deal with the weirdness of what's surrounding it, the airport sits very well within it, and visually it looks pretty good. Okay, so let's get on to some history. Okay, history. Van Nuys Airport, Kilo Victor November Yankee, is a public use airport owned by the City of Los Angeles and operated by Los Angeles World Airports, or Lima Alpha Whiskey Alpha, a branch of the Los Angeles City government which also operates Los Angeles International, or LAX. Located in the San Fernando Valley in California, the airport serves Van Nuys neighborhood and the City of Los Angeles. Van Nuys is one of the busiest general aviation airports in the world, with the airport's 2 parallel runways averaging over 230,000 takeoffs and landings annually. However, as of 2022, no commercial air service operates to or from Van Nuys Airport. The airport is, however, home to news, medical transport and tour helicopter operators, the Air Operations Unit of the Los Angeles City Fire Department, and a maintenance base for Los Angeles Police Department and the Los Angeles Department of Water and Power helicopters. Van Nuys Airport opened on December 17, 1928, the 25th anniversary of the Wright brothers' first flight. The airport opened as Metropolitan Airport. The airfield was run by a small group of citizens who established a corporation to run it. The airport was spread out on 80 acres surrounded by trees and farmland and was mostly used for general aviation. But the airport also became popular with the Hollywood stars of that era, and notably was the filming location of the iconic airport scene in the 1942 film Casablanca. Also notable were the scenes of the Reckless Flight, and other scenes, of Laurel and Hardy in the 1939 film The Flying Deuces. In 1942, after the United States entered World War II, the government purchased Metropolitan Airport and converted it into the Van Nuys Army Airfield. The Army also purchased an additional 163 acres of land to expand the runways and the airfield. In 1949, after the war, the City of Los Angeles purchased the airport from the War Assets Administration for just $1, with the agreement that the California Air National Guard base continued to operate on the site. The name of the airport, which by then covered 400 acres, was changed to San Fernando Valley Airport. In the 1950s, the California Air National Guard based North American F-86 Sabre jets at the airport and built new permanent facilities. In 1957, the airport's name would change one last time to Van Nuys Airport. In 1975, Los Angeles Department of Airports, or now Los Angeles World Airports, built the Flyway bus terminal just east of Van Nuys Airport, and today Van Nuys remains one of the world's busiest general aviation airports, with over 200,000 aircraft operations in 2020. A 2015 study found that the airport generates over $2 billion of economic growth and impact, and has created over 10,000 jobs. So there you go, folks, a little bit of history for you. Another airport that started out in the wartime era, had a couple of name changes, a few runway extensions, and now, as you can see, lots of various facilities on the airport. No commercial flight operations in here, but lots of private jets, and used quite a lot by the local Hollywood fraternity too. Okay, so let's have a look at the two runways here, and this is where you get to see some of the lighting too. So runways. Van Nuys Airport operates two runways. Runway 16 right, 34 left, and we're looking down 16 right now here, is the longer of the two, measuring 8,001 feet or 2,439 meters. The shorter runway 16 left, 34 right, which is 16 left is here, measures just 4,013 feet or 1,223 meters. Both runways are constructed from asphalt. The airport lies at an elevation of 802 feet or 244 meters and sits within the GMT UTC -8 hours time zone. Now, like the UK and many other countries around the world, California does indeed observe daylight saving time, and as both California and the UK have moved forward onto daylight saving time, this airport, Van Nuys, remains 8 hours behind the UK. So before we start, here's the VOR station in front of the airport here, in front of this runway 16 right. So 16 right, we're looking down the float of it now, features high intensity runway lighting, medium intensity approach lighting system with runway alignment indicator lights, and precision approach path indicators on the right side. That's according to the Navigraph chart dated March this year. And as you can see, they've got a few things wrong here. We have no approach lighting, which is on the chart. It should be medium intensity lighting with sequence flashing lights, and we've got the PAPIs on the wrong side. It should be on the right. And they've also got a centerline, again not listed on the chart. But you can see the threshold, and as I've said many times before, I mean, where they add things that aren't on the charts, I'm quite happy with that. What I do like to see, however, is things placed in the right place. And it would appear they've got the PAPIs wrong. They should be on the right side, and we're missing the medium intensity approach lighting system with the sequence flashing lights. So runway 16 left, let's have a look at that. So here's runway 16 left, displays threshold slightly, and according to the charts, all it has is medium intensity runway lighting, which you can see here. Again, no center lines, no PAPIs listed, which is as per the chart. So let's go down the other end and look at 34 right. So here we are looking at runway 34 right, the other end of the shorter of the two runways. And according to the chart, medium intensity runway lighting, which we've seen at both ends, and there's also a precision approach path indicator on the left side. And as you can see, that's actually missing. There's no PAPI at all for this runway, although according to the chart it's there on the left side. So let's have a look at 34 left, which is the other end of the main long runway. So runway 34 left features high intensity runway lighting, as indeed it should at both ends, and here precision approach path indicators on the right side. So they've actually got this correct. So the PAPI is on the right side here, and the lighting generally, again we have the centerline lighting going all the way down the runway, which is not on the charts. And as per the chart, there's no approach sequence lighting at this end. So this is pretty much correct with the addition of a centerline lighting here. So let's look at approaches for this airport. You have a standard instrument landing system for runway 16 right only. So the other end there, you have a standard instrument landing system with Y and Z approach options. And for all the other runways, you have runway unspecified options, where you can do presumably visual approaches and various approaches as per the charts to the various runways here, subject to certain conditions. Some additional things to think about here: runway 16 left, 34 right, the smaller runway, is closed and unlit when the tower is closed in the real world. Technically, there are no flight operations between 11 p.m. and 7 a.m. local time, the only exceptions being military, mercy flights or law enforcement operations. So there you go, that's the runway. There's quite a bit missing from here. We'll list them later on, so that should Orbx be looking at this video, they might like to make some corrections. Now, no jetways at this airport, so let's get down to the main tour and have a look at this airport, and we'll do airside as much as we can. Quite a lot to see. Okay, welcome back folks. So we start the main tour. We're at the southern end, looking sort of northwest, and we're going to track north, airside, and have a look at the western side of the field first, and then we'll come back and down south along the eastern side, have a look. There's quite a bit to see. As you can see, there's a lot also of default terrain, some of it that doesn't look quite so good up this close, for example here and here, but the airport itself, the modelling fits in quite well with what sits here. And so it doesn't look too bad at all. So let's start a tour north and see how we go. So as you can see, the texturing and the quality of the buildings here is really quite good. I'm just trying to get the speed right here so you can have a good look. Hangars and stuff there. Air conditioning units. And we've got people as well standing around. So here, for example, there's the Airbus helicopter hangar, and again some nice modelling, some nice weathering. Ground textures look good as well. They're not overly exuberant, but they look pretty good. And you've got the hangars and stuff here. And I have to tell you, this place does look like pretty good in the darkness hours, but we'll come to that. So here's the airside fence, landside car park. There's a nice building there, and a couple of guys looking over the fence there. And the included static aircraft all look pretty good. So more hangars, more people, various bits of ground clutter that look pretty good. And the foliage has been nicely done as well. It's nicely placed. Makes the place look a little bit more real than it might otherwise appear to be. More static aircraft. You've got this big jet here. And here you've got this little restaurant here at the Signature FBO. Looks pretty nice. And more hangars. This time they look really like metal because you can see the sheen and the reflection on them. A couple of more engineers outside. Now it looks pretty good. It looks quite realistic. Lots of detail, lots of clutter, lots of stuff to make it look more realistic. So as we go down the cul-de-sac here, I mean, the buildings look great. Here he's got another aircraft, a few engineers outside. And as you can see, lots more to look at and places to put your aircraft as well. Another jet being fueled up. That's really nice. So heading back out towards the taxiway, here we've got the control tower on the left. And again, a nice little building sitting in its own area, a couple of people down there. I don't think there's anything inside. No, as you can see there isn't. But nonetheless a nice building, and there's a motorcycle down there. Excellent. So as you can see, here's a sort of an interaction between the default stuff there on the right and the modelling they've done on the left, and it works reasonably well. Now there's my helicopter parked. So again, you can see the buildings here, and you've got the fence line behind it, and there's the default terrain behind it, which sometimes doesn't work that well and other times does. Here you've got some really nice warbirds. And to be honest, okay, yeah, the terrain outside doesn't look great, but I find it quite acceptable. This is as far as the developers wanted to go, and I can accept that. So as you can see, the taxiway and concrete markings are brilliant. Let's have a look at some of the signage. So here you can see some of the taxiway signage, and you can see they're on proper plinths. They're not just stuck in the grass, so that's really good. And you also have the blue airfield edge lights. So there's the rotating beacon on the left. And this all looks pretty impressive. So various helicopters up here. We've got a fire truck over there. And as you can see, some work has been done landside as well. So we're now at the far northwestern end of the airport. And as you can see, shed loads of hangars and places to park your aircraft. And various light aircraft up here too. And again, lots of work been done there. It's great. It's really nice. Can't see any open hangars. Okay, got a flag there, but it's not animated. More people. And so we're heading back east towards the airport itself proper. More helicopters, vehicles. It looks great, it really does. It's been really faithfully recreated. Looks very nice indeed. Would be nice if some of these hangars were open. I don't know whether they can be open, maybe. But they're there anyway. So here you can see the alignment with the default on one side and the airport itself on the other, which isn't too bad, to be honest. I mean, it looks better when you get away from the buildings. You've got a blast screen there. So we're coming across the far north top of the runways. 16 right and left down there. And we've got vehicles crossing the runway. So now we're coming down the eastern side of the airport. There's a restaurant behind the trees, so we'll stop and have a look. So there you are, a nice little restaurant with people sat at tables. It looks really nice. Very nice indeed. So here we've got the water bombers. And some nice models that look good up close. And another one there with two engineers. So as we pass them, you've got more helicopters over here and more hangars. I have to say the models are really quite good. And it's really nice to have people standing around too. So a couple of Jet Rangers and a couple of Robinsons. Pegasus Aviation along with a jet and some passengers boarding. And once again, all looks really nice. It's typical of this airport. I have actually visited Van Nuys many years ago, and it's also something of a memory lane thing for me as well, because it's one of the first places I flew into when I had Flight Simulator 2 on the Commodore Amiga, Sublogic Flight Sim 2. I took the Learjet from San Francisco to Salinas and then down to Van Nuys. So some nice helicopters, more parking down here. And there's seating area there for people to sit and watch, along with some things for the kids. And now we're heading south down the eastern side. And we have this very nice 757 sitting over here. There you go. It looks really good. It's a nice model. Looks really good even up close. And we got the engineer there about to open the door. And as you can see, lots more places, all accurately modelled as per the real airport. Loads of static aircraft that complement the area. NetJets down there to the left. And it looks good, it really does. So much to see. American Airlines 737, I think. No, it's an EMBRAER. And as you can see, various bits and pieces here. I mean, the modelling's great, and the attention to detail is pretty mind-blowing, actually. When these buildings have been faithfully recreated. Oh look, we've even got people in sunroofs and sunbeds on the top of those buildings. Plane spotter's paradise, I think. So once again, just an example of how nicely detailed this place is and what they've added to make it look real. It's brilliant. And there's a nice shot just showing landside, showing the big eagle sitting outside this hotel, I think it is. So now coming down to the far southern side of the eastern part of the airport. But as you can see, lots of detail, loads of things here. Most of it sits pretty well with the default, which is quite close to the airport. Some of it is a bit here and there, but the airport itself has been nicely done. And by and large, it sits pretty well. And plenty of people and little things going on to give the place some kind of atmosphere. So that was a grand tour of the airport during the day, showing you as much as I can. Let's drop the lighting down to dusk now. Okay, just after 10 to 8 in the evening and dusk is upon us. I mean, the lights came on about 6 or 7, maybe 8 minutes ago, but I just tried to get the right amount of dusk for you to see the lighting and still keep the sunset. So let's do a quick tour across the ramp again and have a look at the lighting. So as you can see, the taxiway signs are all lit and they glow, which is nice. You've got green centerline lights and the downlighting looks pretty good on most of these places. It's not bad at all. So as you can see, the lighting is quite subtle. But here on the ramp you can see, you know, the taxiway lighting is wonderful. The glowing that's created from these signs I think looks really impressive. It's one of the things I like about this airport. So going into the helicopter cul-de-sac here, as you can see, drop lighting on some of the buildings, which I think just does the job. It works. And the taxiway lighting goes all the way out here. So as you see, we come up to the northern end of the field again. The lighting is really quite pleasant, but I really like the way they've done these taxiway signs. I think they really help. So there you can see our little restaurants all nicely lit up in the evening, which I think is another nice touch. And there are water bombers. Seems to be a little bit more lighting this side, but you know, you can't argue with the taxiways. They look great. Here's our 757. A little bit of lighting, but not by much. But again, you can see the taxiway lights go all the way to the end. So if you're using some of these areas to park yourself, you'll be able to, because the lighting goes all the way. And there's our EMBRAER with the tail lights on. Okay, you've got one Asobo globe there. But you know, all in all, it looks good. It really does. I like it a lot. The downlighting on the hangars is quite impressive. Very nice indeed. So there's a high level overview shot looking south to north, looking towards the north area. Let's drop it to night time now. Okay, so here we are, 10 PM local time in the evening. As you can see, we're in the dead of night. And I think that looks really quite nice. You've got some very nice ambient lighting. The airfield taxiways are all nicely lit. And again, you've got this really lovely glow from the signs. I know some people might not think this is very realistic, but it looks really good. And it's got to be a help if you're landing and taking off at this time of the night. So a very quick tour south to north to have a look at this. So it looks nice, it really does. And in the distance there you can see the valley hills that are lit up, as well as the city. There's a nice glow around the control tower there. But it looks really impressive. And just looking at the other side, There's our little restaurant down there, all nicely lit up. So there you go, that was the night time for you. It's all looking pretty impressive. Now if all goes well, I'm facing the right direction. Let's bring the dawn up. So 6:10 in the morning local time, and there you can see the glow on the buildings as the dawn comes up behind me. All looks pretty good. There we are, looking towards the south and looking northwest. And there we are looking east with the sun coming up over the mountains. It looks great. Very, very nice indeed. Okay, 9 AM local time, and time to give you my thoughts. First of all, it's a nice airport. A lot of work has been done, but when you look at it, especially from here, you think maybe that's not the case, but actually there is. There's a lot of buildings, all of which have been textured and weathered. Lots of static aircraft all added in the right places, including various ones that you expect to see here. Very nice 757 model there, and you've got the two Turkish fireplanes here. Lots of people dotted about as well, which is great. Makes this place come to life a bit more, gives it some atmosphere. Even though they're not animated, they're there, and it looks really quite good. Dusk and night time looks wonderful. The lighting, especially the lighting produced by the static taxiway signs, for me just really does the job. It looks great, and I like the way this has been modelled. What about the price? Okay, €16, just over $17 US, or just close to £14. It's priced very excellently. I think it's adequately priced for what's been done. There's actually quite a lot of work here, which doesn't appear to be the case when you first look at it. But as we've travelled across the airport, you've seen what's been done, A, to make it blend in with the default scenery, which is quite close by the way, and B, to make it look quite realistic for the airport as it is in real life. As I said, I have been here many years ago, but I have been here, and it does bring back memories. And I think the price is pretty accurate. I think the price is right on. Certainly you can see the skill of the developer. It looks great. He's done a lovely job. And if you want somewhere different to fly into the LA area other than Los Angeles or San Diego, yeah, this is a nice alternative, especially if you're doing a non-commercial sort of private flight, even VFR. I mean, it sits lovely within the mountains. I think it sits really well. Done a lovely job, and I think it hits the spot. So there you are, folks. Van Nuys Airport in California, USA. Kilo Victor November Yankee. It's a payware scenery by Orbx, and you're looking at version 1.0.2 for the PC version of FlightSim 2020. The download is 559 meg, and it installs at 2.24 gigabytes. Available currently only from Orbx. And the price is €15.99, which equates to $17.21 US, or £13.73 UK. Those prices are estimates all taken from the Australian dollar. Now they do not include tax, so you'll need to add that, which of course can vary depending on the country you're in when you make your purchase. But I think even with the tax at 20%, it's still the airport is priced very nicely at the right price. I like it, and it's certainly worth flying in here. I may attempt to recreate the flight I did before. If you fancy a long Cessna trip from Half Moon Bay up to Salinas, a refuel, and then down to Van Nuys, that would be a nice trip. So there you go. Hope you've enjoyed it. It's been out for a while, but if you've been wondering about it, I hope the review helps you. Lots of nice things to look at. And yeah, very well worth scenery. Another winner, I think, from Orbx. So thank you for joining me, folks. My name's Lee, your virtual airline pilot. As I've said in the previous videos, if you're going to the FlightSim Expo 23, 24 even, show in Las Vegas, I will be there. I'm not exhibiting, I'm a delegate. I'm going to be visiting. Flying into Los Angeles International on Wednesday the 19th. Staying the night at the Renaissance Hotel in LA, where I'll be picking up a rental car. So if you're around in LA and you want dinner somewhere, I wouldn't mind, quite fancy your company. Be driving up to Vegas on the Thursday morning. I'll be in Las Vegas by the lunchtime, and I will be at the show Friday, Saturday and Sunday, and I will be in my alternative uniform, so you know who I am. Be lovely to meet some of you guys and put faces to names. But no, apart from that, great. Join me in the next video this week. I'm trying to get a third one out where we'll be looking at the new version of Bordeaux by Pilot Experience Sim. Very kindly lent me a copy of the brand new version. Lots of changes, a massive update to that airport, and we have a good detailed look at it. I'm going to try and get that out before the weekend. So thanks again for watching. Thank you guys for all your support, both subscribers and for people who very kindly left me messages of support. Busy summer for me, but we're going to keep the videos coming, and yeah, anything you really would like me to view, let me know in the comments, and we'll see if I can get hold of it for you. So take care. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.